a new band of rebels arose who were determined to carry the fight to Jerusalem. The Sicarii. To the Sicarii, anyone who wasn't fighting the Romans was a collaborator and worthy of death.
Many were slain every day, and the fear men were in was worse than the calamity itself.
Alright, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Give double honor to the elders that rule well, and say honors and shalom to all the brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. Alright, we want to go into the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, as we see this prophecy drawing nearer and nearer to it coming to pass through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, the assembling of these BRICS nations, the alliance in which that plans to take down the beast and the harlot. You understand what I'm saying? Which is America, the EU, NATO, and things of that nature, So, without any further ado, let's go to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter.
So Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog.
So it said that the face of the prophet Ezekiel was to be set against the land of Gog and Magog, okay? And that's very key, because you got some idiots, quite frankly, who wrestle and don't know the scriptures, who try to use this prophecy as justification to saying that Edomites or so-called white people are actually Japhetic as opposed to Semitic Hebrew Edomites, which they are Edomites. They try to say, well, look, see, it calls them, this is saying the Russians, and the Russians are white people, and it's saying that they're Gog and Magog. No, it's saying the land, meaning the people who in the latter times would inhabit that land. Because I could show you images in Russia going 17, 18, 19, going all the way back to the ancient time, to the time before Christ, before who the world calls Christ, and you will see images of dark-skinned black people with woolly hair. They're not white people. White people are not the original inhabitants of Russia. Okay, so I'm not talking about the actual original people of Gog and Magog, but rather the people who currently inherit, or not currently inherit, but currently inhabit the region. Okay?
Same as America.
Yeah, same as America. Right? The average American is a cracker, not a Gadite or a Reubenite, right? But go ahead.
It says the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord.
Meshach and Tubal, when you take a look at that on an ancient biblical map, what you're going to see is the area formerly known as the United Soviet, I forget what the SR stands for, but basically Soviet Union. Okay, the hammer and sickle nations. All right, go ahead.
I got a precept. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes.
That's right.
Against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
Yeah, they don't care about whatever America's talking about. If America's trying to bribe them, that's why the Russians, they used to have a Rothschild-controlled bank. Yet they no longer have a Rothschild-controlled bank. They've started their own bank, and they've now merged with Brazil and India and China and South Africa in order to create their own bank. They ain't worried about the silver and the gold that the beast and the harlot have. They don't give a good goddamn. Okay? They're doing their own thing. They ain't worried about whatever. They can't pay them off. China, how far in debt is America to China? Trillions, man. Multi-trillion to over a dozen trillions, okay? And they ain't even worried about that. They coming to conquer this place. That's their idea. They don't want the gifts that America got. Go ahead.
Right, and as you can see, it mentioned the Medes again.
Yeah, the Medes, the people who dwelt in that region that Russia is in.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces.
Oh, their bows shall dash the young men to pieces. That's talking about really the thermonuclear war that's getting ready to take place. Go ahead.
They shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, their eyes shall not spare children.
Meaning they're getting ready to destroy all of America. Man, woman, and child, old, elderly, newborns, everything in America that's left in America is going to be totally wiped out. And the elect is going to be delivered about it. But outside of that, everybody here in America, these Medes, these modern day Medes, the people who are doing the land of Media, which is that Russia area, they planning to a total annihilation and extermination. Go ahead.
And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms.
Babylon, the glory of kingdoms. What is the modern day Babylon? America. Who are the modern day people trying to take Babylon out? The people who dwell in the lands of the Medes, them crackers that's over there in Russia. And yes, they have other nations that are confederate with them, but they're the principal. Okay, go ahead.
Shall the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency.
The beauty of the Chaldees. And the elders were just going into what the word Chaldees means. The word Chaldee in the Hebrew basically means a magician. Who are these magicians, man? These elite, these Rothschilds and such, man, who conjure that wickedness up, man, in secret places, doing secret revelings and all type of just demonic witchcraft in order to further their agenda. All right, this is their glory. When you go back, which we were just speaking about, when you go back to the rise of the so-called white race again, right, which goes back to 1492, with Pope Alexander VI taking the throne, being the Pope of Rome. They sat up there and they conjured up a plan, and their plan had to do with the New Atlantis, and America was the New Atlantis. So these damn magicians, these demonic crackers, dreamed up America to be the New Atlantis that they read about Homer when Homer wrote about Atlantis. Okay, this is supposed to be an Atlantean utopian society. So this is the glory of the Chaldees in this time, right? Go ahead.
It says, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
So we know ancient Babylon is not like the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah. Nobody ever dwelt in Sodom and Gomorrah, okay, after its destruction. And you could go over to that land, and that land is historically documented, and its destruction is verified, okay, by all historians who have been over to that region. You understand what I'm saying? But people are currently dwelling in ancient Babylon. When you go over there to Iraq, people are living there. Okay, Saddam Hussein was over there. You had American troops up over there. So we know that's clearly not what it's talking about. This is talking about a modern day Babylon. And we're in the modern day Babylon right now. The so-called US of A, United States of America. Okay, this place is going to be overthrown like Sodom and Gomorrah when the Russians and the nations that are confederate with them do what? Send the thermonuclear missiles over here. Go ahead.
All right, going back. Verse 3, and say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal.
So the Lord is against the Soviet Union. He's going to utilize the Soviet Union to take out Babylon or America, okay? But ultimately, he's against the Soviet Union, okay? Now read.
Verse 4.
Now understand something. When the ancient Babylon was destroyed, right? Because some people might say, well, this prophecy already came to pass. When the ancient prophecy was destroyed, the Lord was with the Medo-Persian Empire to do it, because the king of the Medo-Persian Empire was going to set Israel up, set us up, going back to Zerubbabel and such, set us up and had us to rebuild the temple and such. So the Lord had favor on him. It's telling us this is an entirely different scenario, and the Lord was not going to have favor on these people. And it's also showing us that the Medes, or the Gog and Magog, was going to be the chief of this empire. That's totally different from the last one. The Medo-Persian Empire, the Persians, was the horn that was higher when you deal with that prophecy. But go ahead.
Verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine armies, horses and horsemen.
So a quick precept on that. You know, it says he's going to turn them back, bring them to that communist Soviet Union, fuck America state.
Yeah, that's right. And you see it, man. You see Vladimir Putin. He's in that spirit, man, right now, man. That's why they're over there in Ukraine doing what they want. America giving all kind of sanctions, and they don't give a damn, man. Vladimir Putin laughed at that shit. Obama kissed my ass, man. You ain't gonna stop what I got going. You know? That's the spirit that the Lord is putting on them dudes. So to destroy this wicked and sinful place. And then he got something for their ass after, which we're reading about right now in Ezekiel 38. But go ahead.
Right, Joel chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men.
Right, wake up the mighty men. So the Lord is telling us as the prophets to declare this amongst the Gentiles, right? That the nations of this world is getting ready for a war. Right. Go ahead.
Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up.
That's right. They're all coming up, man. They all getting ready for battle, man. Everywhere you go across the world, these countries, they're getting ready to go into a global conflict. Go ahead.
Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears.
I mean, to get your weaponry ready. Go ahead.
Let the weak say I am strong.
Let the weak say I'm strong. So these nations were all looked at as weak. Russia was looked at as weak, especially after the end of the Cold War and the dismantling of the Soviet Union. That whole empire was looked at as weak. But now it is saying it is strong. And not just that empire, these other places. You know, your Syrias and your Irans and your Brazils and things like this. These countries that are becoming confederate with Russia. Now they are now saying, I am strong and I can stand up against America. America was known in recent history as the only world power. That's not true anymore. China is an up-and-comer. Russia is an up-and-comer. And you have different countries getting confederate with them like Iran, like Pakistan, and like India, so they can become up-and-comers. You know, never let me forget North Korea. And these are countries with immense armies and military strength and weaponry, state-of-the-art weaponry. You understand what I'm saying? They invest a lot in that weaponry. Why? So they can take America out. It's all in the spirit. But go ahead.
Hey, man, which is also the reason that we go out, man, to do this work. One, to wake Jacob, prophesy against his kingdom, man, but we're also conjuring up that spirit, man, for the other nations to, turn against this place. But it's not going to just be Jake coming against it. It's going to be pretty much everybody going against everybody at one point in time.
That's right.
Delivers us, so putting it out on YouTube, we know the elites watch our videos, from all over the place, and it's conjuring up a spirit, to have the Lord use him the way that he, sees fit.
Okay.
This is back in Ezekiel. I'm gonna start back at 4. Ezekiel 38:4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor.
So it's talking about the assembly of great multitudes of armies. There's armies of the Russians and those Confederate. Read.
It says, even a great company with bucklers and shields.
Bucklers and shields. Great company with bucklers and shields. They're going to have all their weaponry ready. Right, read.
All of them handling swords. It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them.
Persia, that's talking about Iran. You understand what I'm saying? They're a key part of this entire prophecy. Right, read.
All of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands.
They coming with shield and helmet. Read.
Right. Gomer and all his bands. The house of Togomar and of the north quarter.
It's talking about them different Soviet states. Read.
And all his bands and many people with thee.
Whether it be, what do they have? The Czech Republic, which used to be Czechoslovakia. So you have the Czech Republic, then you have Slovakia, you have Serbia, Montenegro, Bosnia, all these different countries. They're all coming back together as the Soviet Union. Go ahead.
Verse 7, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee.
Get your ass ready for war. Read.
And be thou a guard unto them.
Be thou a guard. Russia is guarding the what you would look at as weaker countries, okay, that are confederate with it. Because Russia, if they ain't got the might, Russia got the might and the weaponry that America don't want to do nothing about. That's why they keep doing whatever the hell they want. And Obama punk ass ain't doing nothing. Go ahead.
And also, Russia always is in conflict with America when they're trying to sanction these other
countries.
Yeah, these other different countries. That's why the scripture is saying be a guard unto the other smaller nations that are confederate with.
Like Syria, because they were trying to sanction Syria, and remember Russia was still giving them weapons.
Right.
Said, look, we got a contract with these motherfuckers. We're going to still do it. I don't give a damn what you're talking about. And they want to go to the UN and try to get him. You see, Obama's a little bitch-ass snitch. I want to go get him in trouble and tell him the UN, you fucking punk, okay?
Yeah, and they try to...
And they ain't give a damn.
And Russia told America if they sanction Iran again, it's going to be...
it's going to be immediate. He said there is going to be an immediate responsible to attack. And what does Obama do? Tuck his little Curious George tail, okay? Where we at?
I got something.
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people.
Talking about this great army that they're assembling. Read.
A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of the nations gathered together.
Now think about this. You got the Chinese army, which is how deep? What is it, a few million? I want to say.
I think they're past a few million.
They got an immense army.
Yeah.
North Korea got an immense army. Russia got an immense army. These are three. I think they're three of the top 4 largest armies, of the top 5 largest armies on the planet, if not the 3. Right? So all these large armies, some of the largest armies in the world coming together, how is that going to sound when they're marching into battle? Think about that, man. Go ahead.
It says, the Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
Meaning the Lord is you know, he's putting the spirit for that war. You see? Go ahead.
It says, after many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword.
Ezekiel said this during the Babylonian captivity of Israel. So he's saying, look, this is a last day or latter day prophecy, meaning it's a prophecy that's going to take place in the times in which that we are currently living in. Not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but it's going to happen, Lord willing, in the near future. Okay, because this is a latter time prophecy. Go ahead.
It says, and is gathered out of
Matter of fact, read that again for the time.
verse 8. And many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword.
What is the land that is brought back from the sword? Let's find out. Keep going.
And is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel.
That's right. It's Israel. That's what it's talking. The land that is brought back from the sword and gathered out of many people is Israel. Because the Israelites, the elected on 1/3, we're going to be gathered out of the four winds of the heavens. That saith the Holy Bible. Okay, you got the precept? Joel, was it in Joel? I think it was just Joel. No.
I'm speaking on.
Hold on, let me see Joel. You got Joel? 3, is it? 1, 2. Yeah, verse 1.
Oh, yeah. Joel chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
When they say bring again, that doesn't mean he's going to bring us into captivity again. Okay? You got to understand the old English. He's saying he's going to bring us out of the captivity. Okay? That's what it's saying. So when he brings us out of the captivity, when they say the land that is brought back from the sword, it's talking about when we get delivered and we go back into the land of Israel. Now this is prior to us descending from heaven and New Jerusalem coming, and establishing that kingdom. The kingdom isn't established yet. The kingdom is not established until what? The defeat of Gog and Magog and their confederates. Okay, so America gets destroyed. The elect gets delivered up out of there. We get the elect from wherever else they are in the world, and then the rest of the world does what? They gather together and try to come up against us
under Russia.
Under Russia. Okay, and that's what Ezekiel 38 is all about. Okay, it's about Russia and their confederates and what's left of the world after America is wiped out, coming against the nation of Israel, coming against the elect and the 1/3 of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay, where you at?
Right, real quick. Psalms chapter 68, verse 16. Why leap ye high hills?
Why leap ye high hills? This is talking about after Russia destroys America, they're going to be looked at as the chief superpower on the earth. But they're leaping, right? What does it mean by they're leaping? It means they're trying to they're really all jockeying for position. Your Russias, your Chinas, and things like this, right? Read.
This is the hill which the Most High desires to dwell in.
That's right, Israel. So y'all are all trying to make yourselves number one, the top dog. But Israel, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, has ordained us to be the top dog of the planet Earth forever. Go ahead.
Back in Joel chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
So this is what Ezekiel 38, the whole thing is talking about, the battle in the valley of Jehoshaphat, okay, which is over there in our land, the land of Israel. Jehoshaphat in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh judgment, the judgment of the Most High God, okay? And what is the judgment that's going to be there? It's going to judge all these nations. At one time, it's going to be killing millions of birds with one stone. Okay, go ahead.
I will, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel.
So the Most High is going to plead with you nations. He's going to plead with the Russians and the Chinese and such for Israel. Does that mean he's going to say, man, please, man, just leave us alone, man. Just let my people be? No, that's not how the Lord does it, man. He said with fire he will plead with all flesh. Okay, that's right there in the scriptures. Okay, go ahead.
Whom they have scattered among the nations.
Who they have scattered. That's why it says the nation that is brought back from the sword, that is gathered out of all nations, because we've been scattered out of all nations. Matter of fact, get that at Amos, Tazamah. Go ahead.
And parted my land.
And parted the land. They scattered us, and then they said, look, see, I have the map. I wish I would have brought it. But I did a video, I believe it's called, I put a scripture in Luke and a scripture in 1 Corinthians. I think the scripture in Luke I brought out was about the trodden down of the Gentiles. and I was going in. I had the map that from National Geographic where it showed you have, when you go to Israel, when you go to Jerusalem, you have the Jewish quarter, you have the Muslim quarter, you have the Armenian quarter, and you have the Christian quarter. None of those people that's over there are Israelites, but they all are part of our land. You understand what I'm saying? You got Arabs over there, you got crackers over there, you got damn Armenia. All these different people are over there except us. They scattered us up out of that land, and now they cast lots and parted it, and now they possess our land. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Skip to verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen.
All you goddamn heathen. What's ever left to you after the destruction of America, get your ass ready for war. Read.
All ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down.
Cause thy mighty ones to come down. Read.
O Lord, let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
So that all these heathen are going to do is the stupid thing of coming to the valley of Jehoshaphat. That is the dumbest thing these heathens can do. Any of the heathen army that's there that flees for their life, man, they're brilliant. They're brilliant as hell, man. Because everybody that goes to the valley of Jehoshaphat is going to be burnt with fire. That's thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Go ahead.
For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
So the Lord is going to judge all you goddamn people in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Those that weren't already judged in the destruction that takes place in the America and elsewhere throughout the world. Whatever's left, which is going to be millions of people left, these armies and things, they're going to be judged in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, in the valley of decision, the valley of the Lord's judgment. Read.
It says, put ye in a sickle, for the harvest is ripe.
The harvest is ripe. It's harvest time. What is the harvest time? It's time for our salvation and y'all destruction. Read.
Come get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great.
Meaning what? It's time. It's time for y'all to be judged for your wickedness finally. Read.
Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision.
That's right.
For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision.
The day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision for all of y'all to get judged. Read.
The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Lord also shall roar out of Zion.
The Lord shall roar out of Zion. Read.
And utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the heavens and the earth shall shake. But the Lord will be the hope of his people and strength of the children of Israel.
So those who hope in the Lord is going to be delivered, and the Lord is going to roar, and it's going to cause this world to shake, and it's going to cause these heathen to drop dead. Okay? And we're going to get a matter of fact, that was what Ezekiel, that was Joel 3. Okay, go back to Ezekiel 38, and then, go ahead.
Ezekiel 38, start back at 8. In many days thou shalt be visited, and in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel.
Which is Israel. They're going to go over to the actual Israel and try to come against us, the elect. Lord willing, will be at that number. But try to come against the elect and the 1/3. But this is before the elect and the 1/3 descent out of heaven, which we're going to get to in a second. But go ahead.
Which have been always waste, and is brought forth out of the nations.
Which have been always waste, meaning these people have always trodden down under us, right? But we've been brought forth out of the nations as the elect and 1/3. Again, Lord, when we be those men, let's say, how about Shemiah Shai? Go ahead.
And they shall dwell safely, all of them.
We shall dwell safely. So when Israel go back into the land, we're going to dwell safely, right? Go ahead.
Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm.
So they're going to come, all these different nations, these armies, they're going to come like a storm. Read.
It says, thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land.
Go ahead.
Thou and all thy bands and many people with thee.
All thy bands, all thy different army formations. Read.
Thus saith the Lord power, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind.
So you're going to start thinking things. When they assembling these armies, they're going to start thinking things, right? Go ahead. Let's see what they're going to think.
And thou shalt think an evil thought.
They're going to start thinking evil thought. What's the evil thought they're going to be thinking? That they can actually come down to Israel and conquer and spoil Israel, right? Go ahead.
With us.
Yeah, with us. With us there. Not with the rest there, with us there. Okay, go ahead.
I got
okay.
something.
Go ahead with that precept.
This is pretty much the main precept to prove that it's talking about Israel, not America. This is Revelation, the 20th chapter. I'm going to start at verse 7. And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
So Satan is going to be loosed out of his prison after 1,000 years. That's talking about the rise of the white man, okay? When Satan went down basically during the dark ages when we was ruling the earth. Go ahead.
And shall go out to deceive the nations which were in the four quarters of the earth.
Start on 1492. Read.
Gog and Magog.
Wait, it says Gog and Magog. Go ahead.
To gather them together to battle.
To gather them together in battle. So Gog and Magog is a part of the devil. Okay, a part of the devil, letting you know that what this Edomites. Okay, that Gog and Magog is Edomites. They're not Japhites. They're part of the devil, the Edomites. Okay, go ahead.
The number of whom is the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth.
And that also proves what? That the bottomless pit is Europe. Okay, go ahead. But then they went from Europe to deceive. That's why you got Australia and New Zealand. And they went all over the place. Go ahead, though.
Verse 9. And they went upon the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about.
They compassed the camp of the saints. Who are the saints? The Israelites. They came and they compassed us round about. Okay? Letting you know what it's talking about. They're not going to compass America round about. Why would they compass America round about? They're pushing buttons and blowing this place to smithereens.
Right, and this is after America's destroyed.
Yeah, Con, what chapter is this?
The 20th chapter.
The 20th chapter. They're already speaking about Babylon's destruction prior to this. Go ahead.
It says, and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city.
The beloved. What is the beloved city? That's Israel. That's Jerusalem. That's the beloved city. Okay, that's being compassed round about. But we hadn't came down. We don't come down off the chariots till Revelation 21. We up in the chariots right now. Lord, when we be at that number again? But the elect in the 1/3 and Yahushua and the host of heaven, the angels, are going to be up in the chariots above Israel and not even ascended out of Israel yet. This is what's going to attract them over there. They're going to call to mind, oh yeah, them Israelites, they was going over there. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to have all these goods.
And just to seize that land.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
Every conflict is about this land. Why else? The Russians was going over to the Afghanistan during the point, and they always were trying to get in bed with people over in the Middle East because Jerusalem is the key central location of conflict over the planet. On the planet Earth, everybody's beefing over. Everybody want that land. The Arabs want that land. The fucking rats want that land. The Christians want that. Everybody wants that land. Why? Because that's God's land. But go ahead.
It says, and fire came down from the Most High out of heaven.
Fire came down from the Most High out of heaven. That's talking about the fire coming out of these chariots. Read.
And devoured them.
And devour all these people. So all the armies that come and try to come against the saints of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and Yahushua himself are going to get burnt, man. Are going to get disintegrated by fire from on high, man. Okay? That was it on that?
Yeah.
Okay, go back to Ezekiel 38.
Ezekiel 38, verse 11. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages.
They're going to go up to the land of unwalled villages. Some people might tell you this is America. That's not what it's talking about. Jerusalem, Israel is going to be a land of unwalled villages. Why? Because of the destruction that's going to take place there. It's going to knock the walls down over there. Okay? That's why it's going to be the land of unwalled villages. The Russians and all the Confederates, they don't have no interest in assembling an actual army and coming over to America. They're pushing buttons on America. Again, Israel is in far too close a proximity to their allies for them to do too much thermonuclear damage to it. And at the end of the day, they don't want to do too much thermonuclear damage to it because they want that land.
Right.
That's the prized possession of the whole earth. Right. All these nations know that. Go ahead.
I will go to them that are at rest.
Go to them that are at rest. Talking about they realize that Israel, that we're going to be at rest when we go back over there. Okay? So they plan to try to catch us slipping. Go ahead.
That dwell safely, all of them, dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates.
Read.
To take a spoil.
Why don't we have bars nor gates yet? Because we haven't came down up out of heaven yet. The scriptures speak about the 12 gates that are going to exist in Jerusalem and the kingdom. Okay? But that hadn't came to pass yet. We still actually in the chariots. Again, Lord, when will we be at that number? Go ahead.
It says, to take a spoil and to take a prey. And
so they want to spoil us because they think we done went back to the land and we got all the goods that was promised us in the prophecy, which we gonna have, but not yet. Oh, go ahead.
And that was left by the rats.
Yeah, whatever the last rat. Because think about it, they're gonna blow America off the map. So whatever's in America, that's out the window. They're probably gonna blow London off the map where they got a lot of stuff. You know, they might have something like Antwerp left, but Antwerp ain't got nothing but diamonds, which ain't worth shit anyway. The majority of the spoils, they probably think the rats done left over there. So they had all intentions of going over there and taking it. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like they know the prophecy. When that evil thought that's going to come in their head is that the Lord just put us out somewhere and pretty much just gave us what he promised us and left us to dry. And they
Actually, that's not even what they thinking. They ain't thinking the Lord ain't got anything to do with it. They're just thinking that it just so happened to happen, but they're gonna be able to get over on it. If they was thinking on the Lord, they wouldn't even think about coming against us. But they really think, okay, they don't went back over there, so okay, let's go get over on them. They got some goods or whatever. Let's go get over on them because they're open right now. They think it's all good, which it is all good. That's what you don't know. But go ahead.
It says, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited.
The desolate places, because that stuff was a level, but now we're going back over there. Go ahead.
Upon the people that are gathered out of the nations.
Exactly. Upon the people that are gathered out of the nations. America's not the people that was gathered out of the nations. Us, Israel, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American that's spread throughout the four corners of the earth are the people that's gathered from out of the nation. Go ahead.
And it said desolate, but now inhabited.
Exactly. But now inhabited. Yeah, exactly. Nobody's going to inhabit America after it's desolate. So this lets you know Ezekiel 38 is not talking about America whatsoever. It's actually talking about the conflict between Gog and his allies, Russia and its allies, and Israel, the elect, the 1/3, and Yahushua himself. Actually, go ahead.
But although it's not talking about America,
yeah, they are going to destroy America.
Right.
Still, this is just talking about what's going to occur after the destruction of America. They're going to get rid of America when they go say, well, shit, who else we got to take out in order to solidify and substantiate ourselves as a superpower on this earth? And they're going to think to come to us, and that's the last thing they're going to do through the spirit and power of Yahushua. But go ahead.
Upon the people that are gathered out of the nations.
Upon the people gathered out of the nations, which are the Israelites. Okay, go ahead.
Which have gotten cattle and goods.
Because they're going to think, okay, well, they went back over the land. They were supposed to have all these goods when they went over there. Let's go get over on their ass. Go ahead.
That dwell in the midst of the land. Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish.
So we got to understand, a lot of times we're dealing with the people who dwell in these lands. You got Arabs dwelling all throughout Sheba, Dedan, and Tarshish now. Not the original Hamites and Edomites that originated there, but the people who dwell there are in Sheba and Dedan and Tarshish are not Edomites rather, but Arabs. Read.
With all the young lions thereof shall say unto thee.
So they're going to say unto this multitude, this large army, read.
Art thou come to take a spoil?
So they're going to ask him that question. Are you come to take a spoil? Read.
Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey? To carry away silver and gold? To take away cattle and goods? To take a great spoil?
Which is what they're going to be thinking, that they're going to do to us, which is, again, the dumbest thing of their life. Go ahead.
Therefore, son of man, prophesy and say unto God, thus saith the Lord power, in that day when my people of Israel dwelleth safely.
When we dwell safely, this is what they don't know. We're going to be dwelling safely. There's nothing they can do to stop us dwelling safely once we go back over to Israel. Go ahead.
Shalt thou not know it? And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts. Thou and many
come down out of Russia. They ain't gonna come down out of Russia and go over to America and fight. They coming down out of Russia to go down to Israel. America's fucking gone, man. Okay, go ahead.
Thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company and a mighty army.
Meaning all of them are ready for war. It's a gang of them. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And thou shalt come up against my people of Israel as a cloud.
So they're gonna come against us. They don't. They ain't talking about they coming against America or the Babylon, the modern day Babylonians. It's talking about them coming against us. Now, the ancient Gog and Magog, they didn't come against us. They actually assisted us in construction of the temple. The Medo-Persian Empire ordained the construction of our temple. Okay? Read the book of Ezra. Read the book of Nehemiah. You will see all about it. Okay? Go ahead.
Read that last sentence one more time so I can pair it up.
And thou shalt come up against my people of Israel as a cloud to cover the land.
Right. And this is Revelations 20 and 9 again. And when they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city, and fire came down from the Most High out of heaven and devoured them.
Yeah, come. That's what's getting. This is exactly what's getting ready to happen in that order. Okay, Russia gonna be feeling themselves after they take this place out. Then that's when the high hill gonna begin to leap, and they're gonna say, well, let's go take Israel out. Right. They're gonna come down and they're gonna get blown out of the goddamn water. Okay, and whatever's left of these people all around the world are gonna be gathered up, and what's gonna happen? They're going to be slaves. Okay, go ahead.
It says, it shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee again my land, that the heathen may know me when I shall be sanctified in thee, O God, before their eyes.
So it's all about the heathen knowing the Lord. So the Lord is going to allow the heathens to destroy America, which is, Babylon the Great, the harlot on the scarlet-colored beast, right? And then they're going to think to come against us. Well, Lord willing, again, we be that number, right? and they will come down to Israel and get totally annihilated. Okay, so the Lord can prove what? Who the power is and who he's dealing with, man. Okay, and this brother was bringing out a point. Just like the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, he's going to do the same thing to their hearts. Harden their heart, that they think a vain thing, that they could actually defeat the nation of Israel. After we just read, the Lord said, what are we going to do? We're going to dwell safely. Okay? You can't stop from dwelling safely once Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has ordained us to dwell safely. Okay? So y'all are shit out of luck. And y'all dumbasses going to think an evil thought and try to come up against us and get wiped the hell out. Okay? Thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Go ahead. You got a precept?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 17. It says, Thus saith the Lord Power, Art thou he of whom I have spoken in old time by my servants the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years, that I will bring thee against them? And it shall come to pass at the same time, when God shall come against the land of Israel, saith the Lord Power, that my fury shall come up in my face.
That's right. So the Lord's fury is going to come up, meaning it's going to be the ending of all the judgments. That judgment on Gog and Magog is going to be like the finale on these mass destructions that the Lord is going to put. And everybody else is either going to get judged by getting put straight to death or serve in slavery.